Hello students, welcome to SPAL study. Today's lecture will be on Java program based on pattern. So we will see some Java programs that will be totally based on patterns like this. The pattern can be a triangle, a pyramid, anything. So we will discuss one by one. So today's pattern is a triangle pattern. So when you see a triangle, we will check the number of rows and number of columns. Here it is column and this is row. So we will see the place value of the columns, means for row 1 you can see for row 1 column is 1, for row 2 column is 2, for row 1 column is 1, row 2 column 2, row 3 column is 3, for row 4 column is 4, for row 5 column is 5. So this row in Java program, we can denote this row as I, and for column we give this as J, means this is the variable. We can take any type of variable, but basically we take this I and J for our simplicity. So just one thing you have to remember, this value of I and value of J, this value of I and J will depend on each other. Sometimes this value of I will depend on value of J, sometimes this value of J will depend on the value of I. So we have to understand this, and there is a concept behind this pattern, so we will discuss this. So let's first discuss the concept. So try to always remember that here you can see this row 1, first row, the column is 1, means for I equals to 1, J is also 1. For I equals to 2, J's value is also 2, means 2 places, 1 place, 2 place. I am talking about these places. How many places it is getting shifted? Means here you can see 1 place. For one row, 1 place. For second row, 1 place, 2 place. For third row, 1 place, 2 place, 3 place. Means for again I equals to 3, J's value, J's placing is 3. It will go up to 3 places. So here you can see this value of J is totally depending on the value of I. So let's discuss the program, and hope you will understand it. So first, class pattern. Then what we see, public static void main, string edges. What do you mean by class, and what is publics, what is static, what is void, what is main? We will discuss this on another topic, but today's main motive is about the pattern. We are talking about a pattern based program. Int ij, I and j are the variable and int is the data type. For loop, this is the loop. Here for loop comes. For loop, the first is initialization. We have to initialize, and then we have to give the condition, and then incrementation part. These are the three things that are being separated here in for loop. So first initialize I equals to 1, fine. So let's go by a rough sketch. That is I, value of I is 1, fine. Value of I is 1 and this value of j we will check later. Okay, so for I equals to 1, I less than equals to 5 means I will go up to 5. Why? Because as I said that the I denotes row, so there are 5 rows. Okay, so I have to go up to fifth place, but in down in a line direction means in next line it will print, means you can see this printing is on the next line, first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. But the printing of j, this printing of j 1 1 2 1 2 3, this printing of j is on the line of I. Okay, so here the condition is been checked. Yes, fine, I 1 is less than 5. Okay, good. Then I is increased by I plus plus. So initialization and then condition check, and then for loop the pattern is such that it will go down, it will not increment. Incrementation part will be on the later. So it will go down and it will go and find, okay, there is another for loop, that is this is a nested for loop. This is nested for loop. What is for loop? What do you mean by for loop? What are the syntax of for loop? We will discuss in another class. So nested for loop. So it will go down and it will check that for j equals to 1. Okay, so we place a value 1 in j. So this is the memory. This memory storage depends on the variable also, and also this memory storage will get update as the value changes. As the value changes, the memory stored get updated. So here it will store 1 in j, and then j less than equals to I. Okay, 1 less than equals to 1. Yes, condition matches. I value is 1. Okay, condition matches. See, hence it will go down, and then it will print system.out.print j. The value of j is 1. It will print 1. Printing of 1 is done. Okay, and then it will go to the increment part because it is a loop. You can check the loops. This is the outer loop and this is a inner loop, and this is for the main function and this is for the class. So first we have to complete a loop and then we have to move another stage. Okay, so it will move here and it will increase by 1, j plus plus, means 1 is increased by 1, means now the value of j is 2. Once the value of j is 2, it will move to the condition part where we have to check, means j's value is 2 less than equals to 1, I is 1. Is this correct? No, this is not correct. Since the condition doesn't matches, hence here the loop ends. The loop ends here, and the next line after the loop we have system.out.println. Println means it will go to the next line, just next line. The cursor is now here. The cursor is now on the next line. Like this, 1 has already been printed, and then loop got finished and it went to the next line. The cursor is on the next line. Fine. So once it is in the next line, it will again, because for the outer loop we have to complete the outer loop also, it will go to the incrementation part. Since the value is increased, I, value of I is 1, it will now increase by 2. Okay, it is now increased by 2, and it will move to the condition part. 2 less than equals to 5, yes, condition matches, hence I comes down. You have to just see the stages and the steps that I am following, and you have to follow in this way only. Condition checks, comes down, and again j's value means condition checks comes down, and we can see that a fresh loop starts from here for j equals to 1. Hence the value of j will again start from 1 because this is a fresh loop. Hence once the value of j is 1, 1 less than equals to I value of I is, now the value of I is 2. 1 less than equals to 2, yes, correct, right. It will come down, it will print j. What is the value of j? J's value is 1. Hence next line where the cursor went, it will print 1. And once printing is done, it will go to the incrementation part. J, value of j increased by 1 means 1 is increased by 1 means 2. Now again to the condition part. 2 less than equals to 2, yes, correct. Once correct, comes down, prints the value of j. This is for the same line, print system.out.print means for the same line. It will print 2. Once printing done, increase by again 1. Now the j is 2. Now the j is 3. 3. Hence 3 checks with 2. Is it correct? No. Since it is not correct, comes down. It will come down? No. Since it is not correct, once the condition, if any condition doesn't matches, the loop ends here. It will come out of this loop. Okay, and it will go to the line, a fresh line, that is system.out.println. Inner loop completes and then goes to the next line. Cursor is blinking on the next line. From here it goes and increase the value of I by 1, means previously value of I is 2 and now the value of I is 3. So 3 again checks with 5. Once checking done, comes down, fresh loop starts from j, that is j's value is 1. Once the value of j is 1, then condition checks 1 less than equals to 3, fine, prints the value of j, that is 1. Again increase the value of j by 1, 2, that is, and then condition checks 2 less than equals to 3, okay, fine, correct. Then comes down, prints the value of j, that is 2. Again increases by 1, that is 3. 3 less than equals to 3, fine, comes down, prints the value of j, that is 3. Again the value of j increases by 4. 4 less than equals to 3. Is it correct? No. Condition doesn't matches here because this is not. Hence loop ends, comes to the next line. Again the value of I get increased by 1, that is now the value of I is 4. Previous it was 3. 4 checks with 5. Comes down, a fresh loop starts. So once a fresh loop starts, the value of j is now again from 1. 1 checks with I value is 4, comes down, prints the value of j, means 1. Again 2, j increase by 2, 2 checks with 4, 2 prints. 3 checks with 4, once 3 is in, 3 checks with 4, 3. Again increase 3 by 4, 4 checks with 4, 4 checks with 4 comes down, prints the value of 4. Again it goes. The loop continues. Once condition fails, then the loop will end. Okay. So again, value of j is now 5. 5 checks with 4. No, this doesn't matches. Condition doesn't matches, comes down, ends from the loop, and then next line. Again value of I is increased by 4, means by 4 it was previous and now it is 5. And now 5 checks with 5. Yes, correct. Comes down, j's values printing is done from the initial stage, that is from 1. Then 1 prints 2. Increase when the value of j is increased by 2, 2 prints 3, 4, and then 5. Like this, the value of j will be printed in the similar way. So once the value of j is printed and once it is 5, means now suppose the j's value is 5. Once the value of j is 5 after incrementation, when condition checks come, then 5 less than equals to 5. Yes, it matches 5 prints. And now when the 5 get increased by again 1, then now the value of j is 6. 6 checks with 5. Condition doesn't matches. Ends from the loop. Cursor is here. Cursor blinks here. And now it will I will increase. I will now increase. I will increase by 1, that is 6. 6 checks with 5. This doesn't matches. Once this fails to match, once this condition fails to match, outer loop ends. Outer loop ends and the main function also ends and the class ends.